Yo, yo. I don't know. Am I live on Twitter? Can anyone tell me if I'm live on Twitter? Am I live on? Oh, look at this. I figured it out. All right. Perfect. Oops. I got a couple things going here. All right. Welcome in to the pre-race poll. Oh, man. And this is awesome. Tony, thank you for letting me know I'm live. All right, cool. I'm like a tech idiot. And this is nice to be able to be live on both. I need to tell my wife. She needs to hang on. All right. This is a pre-race poll for Homestead, Miami. I am stoked. I wish, you know what Larson was to win this race last year? 8-1. That's what he was last year. That is shockingly high. Anyway, let's get into the poll. It's going to be a 2-beer poll. I might be a little buzzed already. I've already had, I got my lucky mug with Bailey's and coffee. Had a Caesar, little Canadian Caesar. I've got and then I have 2 beers for the poll. So here we go. All right. Happy race to everyone. This race is going to be awesome. Collective clink. Boom. Taking a poll. All right. We got a lot to go over. I want to see if we can get something kind of out of the way here. Would we agree that Group A was a little faster than Group B in practice? Can we all agree with that? Can we all agree? I think that Group A was a little faster than Group B. So let's kind of make sure that we have that lens on when we're looking at practice times. Okay, Big Ross, you agree? Cool. All right, everybody racing for second today. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to start with Truex. Let's just get into it. Okay. Truex is kind of interesting because his lap times did not look as good. However, when you actually went back and looked at or listened to the conversation that he had, he definitely didn't run the high line. He knows he's going to be fast up there. I think he was working on other things. 6-1 price on Truex. I don't hate it. I like him in matchups. I wish he would have gone up there and run the high line. I also thought that coverage of practice was just dog shit. And it was really hard to tell where people were running. I don't know what the fact it wasn't, I couldn't like TiVo it or record it or whatever. So I didn't go back and watch it this morning like I normally like to do. But I think Truex is going to be really good. But I just don't think he looked that good in practice. But I think he will be good. Bubba Wallace, pretty good out of Bubba. You know, the other thing about Truex is he was Group A, so that was a little faster. So I just think the fact he didn't run the wall or run that high shows that he could probably be a 10th or 2 faster if he tried. Can we all agree with that? Okay. Bubba Wallace was actually really good. Bubba was pretty good. I think he's getting better at managing his tires. Good starting spot, obviously. I think Bubba's going to be pretty decent. I don't know. I have nothing on nor against him at this point. Tyler Reddick. If there's someone that can run the wall as good as Larson, Truex ran 1 lane below the top. Okay, perfect. Thanks, Derek. So Derek said he did not run the top that high. So, yeah, Bubba's good. I just don't know if I trust him at a high tire wear track for a long period of time. If he stays up front, I think Bubba will kind of be around all day. But if he ever loses track position, I don't see him flying back through the field. Tyler Reddick, I expected him to be a hell of a lot better than he was in practice. He's a tier below a few other guys. I do think that, we saw in the Xfinity race, there was one guy that was ripping it really high in the Xfinity race, and it was Sheldon Creed. And when, after 20 laps in a run, he was phenomenal. He was by far the best car. He just lost so many positions on his way, going from lap 1 to lap 20, he was average or pedestrian at best. But then from like lap 20 to lap 40, he was 0.2 a lap faster. He was the only one truly like ripping the boards. I expect Tyler Reddick to get up there and start ripping the boards And I expect him to be the second best car once that happens. It's just a matter of, is his car good enough on the short run? Is his car good enough on the bottom and the top to be able to make passes? So, yeah, I agree. Toyota's pretty average today. Brad Keselowski was really good, and everyone's on him. So I don't know one person that hasn't bet on Brad Keselowski. He's going to be good. He's going to get a win eventually. This is a great track for him. I think even if he loses track position, he'll be able to get it back. You know, last week he was really good, but he was only good once he stole track position, because early in the race, he lost a position or two in the first run because he was back there in 20th. Once he got the track position, he was able to kind of run times with the leaders. He already has a track position with great qualifying. I expect Brad K to be good all day long. He'll just be up there. He was great here last year, and I think that we can all agree that RFK is a lot better this year than they were last year. So if that's the case, I expect Brad K to be good. Larson, I mean, he's going to win. I don't know what to tell you. I think, you know, what used to take yeah, okay, Johnny, we might as well address this right now. There is a Bubba Wallace, Brad Keselowski matchup up there. I like Brad. Yeah, I like Brad. I just don't trust Bubba, and I think in Brad's car was a little bit better than Bubba's. He just didn't qualify as good. Let's get back to Larson. Larson's issue, when he's been I had this conversation with Jason earlier on Twitter, and Jason doesn't have him. And Larson's been the best car at Homestead every year since 2015. Now, he's only won one time. But the reason he hasn't won, he was beat on a restart with Jimmy Johnson when, at Homestead, I think in like 2016. I was at that race, had my life savings on Larson. But he would hit the wall and take himself out. These cars are a lot more durable. So I think that's why you'll see Reddick and Larson kind of be the fastest guys, because they're the best on the wall. And there's not as much, with the exception of a toe link, you can kind of smash the wall and you're still okay. So Larson is going to be so good. I don't know that you can play him at 2.5 to 1. I have not bet anyone to win this race at current prices. But I think Larson just curb stomps the field again. That's what I think. Austin Dillon, I had him top 10. That's still 5 to 1. I don't know what Austin Dillon needs to do. He looked okay in practice, but he never looks great in practice. He didn't look great in practice last year, and he was a top 10 car last year. I think that this 5 to 1 price on Austin Dillon to finish in the top 10 is an absolute gift. Oh, Jason, that's crazy. You had that 22 to 1 ticket on Larson that day. Oof. I've held some big tickets on Larson. Yeah. Hey, Derek, how high was Larson running? Derek Yoder's at the track. So how high was he running? I think Austin Dillon's going to be good. I do. Let's see. William Byron. Byron was all right. He was in Group B. So I think that he was, I don't know. He's going to do what Byron does. Byron's going to just run well. I don't know what to say. Like, he's just going to kind of be around all day. And if people make mistakes, he could win. I don't have anything on or against him. I do think that, I know he's favored over Hamlin. I like that. I don't think Hamlin was that great. Oh man, if we're going to drink 2 beers, I got to get going. So I think Byron's going to be good, but it's hard to put my finger on if he's going to be like a top 3 car. You know what I mean? Ross Chastain, I think he's going to be awesome. I think Ross is going to be really good. He was good here last year. He was good last week. At times, I thought the best car last week. I think he's going to be good. Like, I have matchups on him. I really like Chastain today. Ty Gibbs. What a really good qualifying for Ty Gibbs. I did not think he was going to be qualified that well. I think if you're going to fade someone in the top 10, I think he's the guy to fade. Average, pretty average on long run speed. I don't know. I don't anticipate Ty Gibbs running a perfect race. Okay, so Larson was nearly touching the wall every lap for 5 minutes to go when he started running 3 or 4 laps on the low line to end practice. Okay, that's why he was kind of slower towards the end. But when he was ripping the top, he was pretty fast. So good to know. Thanks, Derek. Ty Gibbs, I don't know. He's the guy I think you fade. You think the difference in time of day, all it's going to do is going to be more hot and slick when the start of the race. And then as the sun will go down, as sun will start to set as the race is ending, I think it'll be similar to practice. I think Larson will be the Larson and Reddick will be better when it's hotter and slicker than towards the end of the race, in my opinion. I think that I think hot and slick benefits Larson and Reddick. And then as temperatures cool, the high line does not have that same advantage as it does when it's normally slick. All right, Ryan Blaney. I take back everything I said about him being bad at high tire wear tracks. I don't know what the hell Penske did, but wow. I know he was Group A, but what a rocket Ryan Blaney has today. Like, unfortunately, it's no secret because Larson talked about him. Letarte was talking about him. So obviously, and then everyone on Twitter was talking about him, Brian. And so books obviously opened him at 6-1. You know, you can't bet Ryan Blaney at 6-1 at this track. But he was awesome. He looked better than Larson in practice. He was better than Larson in practice, but he was also the A group. And I think that there was a little bit more speed in the track in A group. Fords do well in higher humidity. I have never heard that. Never heard that before. Huh. That's crazy. All right. I think Ryan Blaney's going to be great. I think he's the outside of, if you just looked at lap times in practice, he was the best. If you just looked at lap times. If you actually figure in how it's going to go in the race, I think you have Larson as 1A, Reddick is 1B, just based on how they can run the wall. And then the fastest car is Ryan Blaney. Throw in Keselowski and Chastain, and boom, there's your top 5. Denny Hamlin. I don't know. Hamlin. I don't know. What do you guys think about Hamlin? What do you guys think? By the way, Big Ross, on your Fords do well in higher humidity, I will be messaging a former Ford employee to see if that's a thing, if they actually factor in humidity. That'd be interesting to hear. I've never heard that before. You might be right. I have no idea. Jacob agrees with you. So, Denny Hamlin, I got no clue on this guy. I find it hard to believe that he's going to race as bad as he looked in practice, but if the Toyotas are just not quite there, then they're not quite there. I just didn't see a ton of speed out of him. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on Hamlin? I could go. There's a part of me that's like, listen, this is the third to last race of the season. Denny's going to be there. I think that's a great argument. Yeah, I think Denny goes and gets it. Like, he is as much of a competitor as there is in this sport. But, you know, you're only as good as your car. Yeah, I'm not going to fade him. I don't think fading him is the best thing, but I just don't think he's going to be that, like, he didn't look that good in practice. Alex Bowman, I think this is kind of an Alex Bowman kind of race where he just runs 10th all day. He's not going to be really a factor. I have nothing on nor against him. I trust Alex Bowman, though, as a driver, you know, so let's see. How does Hamlin race if he's battling up front at the end with Reddick, given his point situation, if he gets 23XI locked in? Jason, do you just want me to tell you that Reddick's going to win? Is that what you want? I mean, I think Reddick's going to be good. I think he's going to be the second best car. I think Denny Hamlin would wreck his mom to win. That's what I think. So Bowman versus Gibbs. Yeah, you got to go. You got to go Bowman there. I wonder if Gibbs figures it out. I wonder if Ty Gibbs halfway through the race starts to figure out how to run the wall and then is a little faster. That's my only concern, is I do think that the 54, if you just like looking at it from a 10,000 foot view, I think that the 54 is faster than the 48. I think everyone would agree with that. So I like it. I just hope that Ty Gibbs just doesn't figure it out, because if he does, I think he could be really good. Like he could be better than his lap times. His lap times don't look that good. Yeah. So Ty hasn't been great on high tire wear. I agree. I think that you can fade Ty Gibbs. I'm okay with that. Alex Bowman, I just think he's going to run solid all day. Bell, man, I think Bell, I'm shocked that he's not as good here. I'm shocked that Bell, are you guys shocked that Bell's not good here? I mean, he's a great dirt track racer, but he is way worse than Larson and Reddick when it comes to running the wall. He battled the 42. The crazy thing is, did you guys see John Hunter Nemechek pass Tyler Reddick in practice? What? Like, that was like racy. And I was listening to 45 radio and they're like, what the hell is this guy doing? It's like, he's putting, like, when you hear a spotter, by the way, this is the most disrespectful thing a driver can hear. Clear behind him. And I heard that on Tyler Reddick's radio referring to John Hunter Nemechek passing him. Clear behind him. That is not something I ever thought I would hear in practice, is Tyler Reddick having John inside, clear behind him. What? I was shocked. Chris Bell, how is he not as good? Like, why is he not as good as these other dirt track guys? If you even look at like Stenhouse had a good practice, like Austin Dillon had a good practice. Like, how does Chris Bell look? How does he have so much fall off? I just don't get it. I don't think here's the thing. I don't think Bell is going to have a fast car, but I just feel like he kind of figures it out. I just think he'll kind of be around the top 5 towards the end of the day. Even though his lap times don't say it. That's all I can say about that. Daniel Suarez. I don't think he looked good. Didn't look good in I mean, I know that he was decent. He's been decent here in the past. I think Suarez is fade material, but I think he's also priced that way. You know, Michael McDowell looked extraordinarily bad. Like, I just think Michael McDowell, this is not his kind of track. He was not good. I don't think he's going to be good. Chase Elliott, lots of fall off. I mean, short run, everyone kind of looked the same with the exception of Blaney, Larson, Keselowski. Those guys were better. Yeah, I agree. Bell's a phenomenal race car driver. Chase Elliott, I can't imagine he's going to be this bad. If he somehow gets some track position, by the way, you can't steal track position here. You're not going to be able to do this. Yeah, Stenhouse over McDowell. I looked at that. I might be playing that as well, Ross. I don't want to send the market into shambles, but you're backing. Then I would lean the other way. I would lean the other way on that, the 99 over the 43. But do you really trust Stenhouse that much? I mean, I'll get to Stenhouse in a minute, but like, I like Stenhouse. I might play that. Okay. Stenhouse over McDowell. But Stenhouse will I don't know. I just feel like it'll be an unscheduled pit stop. He'll be running 10th, and it's like all of a sudden, Ricky Stenhouse with an unscheduled stop. You know, I don't know. That's what I feel about him. Okay, so Chris Buescher. Ooh, not a good practice. Like, usually when the RFK guys are good, they're both good. This one was a little different. Now, I trust Chris Buescher. I think he's a great driver. I think he'll be in the top 10, but he's not as good as his teammate. I can't believe, I mean, he went out here and won stage 1 when RFK was not good. And this was in 2021. I remember thinking to myself, holy shit, like, is RFK for real? Is this Chris? I know Chris Buescher's a great driver, but to go out there and win stage 1 at Homestead, he passed Byron and Larson. Like, that's not easy to do at this track. So I know he's got it in him. I think that they just missed it a little bit on the setup. So as they adjust the car, I think he'll get much better and he'll have a top 10 run. Kyle Busch, I don't know. He was in the A group. I think he's going to be average. I think, you know, when I could see him being good, but if he has one mistake, he's cooked. He's a quitter. Kyle's been quitting, I feel like. I mean, I know he hasn't. That's like really disrespectful to say, but I feel like he just, one thing goes wrong and it's over. He just can't do it. Eric Jones, he didn't run that much, but I feel like he has to Bet online and Bet US will have it. By the way, that matchup. Eric Jones, I think he's going to be good. He's good at high tire wear tracks. I tend to trust Eric Jones as a driver. I think the 42 and 43 they're obviously better than they've been earlier in the year. I don't know. If I look at it, I just trust Eric Jones to kind of go out there and get it done. Does that make sense? Like and get it, by get it done, I mean beat Daniel Suarez. Corey LaJoie, I mean, he's all right. I don't know. I have like no interest in Corey LaJoie every week. I don't know. I think he's an overrated driver. Anyway, Chase Briscoe. You would think this would be a good track for Chase Briscoe, but the SHR outside of Harvick has just been not good. So I don't anticipate him to be good. I think he probably doesn't finish on the lead lap. Yeah. Eric Jones never runs a lot of laps in practice. That's a good point. He's always like he went out there and then ran one lap, like made an adjustment and ran one lap. I was like, okay, we're good. That's weird. I don't think Chase Briscoe is going to be good. Kevin Harvick, this is an interesting one. I think that this is kind of like the best longer shot, or someone that's at least starting deep that has a chance. Mainly because of lack of fall off. I don't think Harvick on the short run is going to be fast. It's going to be a long, once he gets the high line wound up or he starts managing his tires, that's when I anticipate Kevin Harvick to be good. That's what I anticipate. I am not going to fade Harvick. I think Kez is better than Harvick. Let me be abundantly clear. But I have a little PTSD when it comes to betting against Harvick. I've said it all week. The only predictable thing about Harvick's weekend is he's going to look average to bad in practice. He's going to qualify like trash, but he's going to race better. That's all I know. It's just how much better is he going to race? We never know. Like, he just practices so bad every week, and then he's kind of around. Now, I didn't expect him to run as well last week. So I think that last week, I don't even know what he finished, like 10th or something, or 12th. I think he'll be better than that. I think he's a top 10 guy. Kez, 4-1 top Ford. Blaney a minus favorite in this market. Johnny, I tend to agree with you there. I tend to agree with you. They're the two best Fords by a lot. So it's just a coin toss, right? No, I do not. So, Kyle, I don't think the best way to get Blaney exposure is top Ford. I don't think that. I think that's the best way to get Keselowski exposure. I like what Johnny said. I think Kez top Ford is the way to go because it's a coin toss between those two. Yeah, that's a good top 5 price on Keselowski. I don't know the best way to get Blaney exposure at this point. He's so overvalued. Everyone was talking about me. I mean, the fact that Larson brought him up, like that killed his chances of us getting a decent price on him, Where are we at? Ricky Stenhouse. Ricky looked great in practice. Do we trust him? I like him in some matchups. He's got an Almirola matchup. He's got that McDowell matchup. I think he'll be good. This is a good track for him. It's a good track for him. I just hate. Just sometimes you can't trust him. 6-1 top 10 on Stenhouse. He's going to be close to that. I don't think it's a terrible. Oh, I think incident free. I agree with that. Incident free, you can cash every Stenhouse matchup. I agree with that. Big Ross, spot on. John Hunter Nemechek. I don't know. I'd rather see Hocevar in that thing, to be honest. Hocevar's fast, man. That guy is so talented. I think Hocevar is the next stud in this sport. He's the next. I'm not going to say Kyle Larson, but If Spire puts some money behind these teams, he's going to be awesome. I don't know how Nemechek's going to be. I don't have a good feel. I feel like these guys that are just, John Hunter's coming in and running a random race. Hocevar comes in. The difference between what they know in practice and how much they learn throughout the race, I feel like John Hunter's going to be a completely different guy at the end of this race than he was in practice. So it's hard to tell how good he's going to be. Does that make sense? Dinger didn't show me a lot in practice, but I think he's going to be good. He's good here, and you're going to see him come in. And I think last year, that battle, I mean, he was racing for the lead last year. Now, Colleague's taking a step back. We can all agree with that, right? I think he's going to be good. I mean, I think that 10-1, or well, not 10-1. He's like 5 or 6-1 top 10. I don't hate that. I don't hate that with Stenhouse. I don't hate it with Cindric, or excuse me, jumping the gun there. I don't hate it with Allmendinger, and I kind of don't hate it with Cindric either. Speaking of Cindric, I practiced really well. Really, really well. So I don't know if Penske hit on something. Maybe they did. Because Logano was pretty good too, until he wasn't. I think Austin, I can't believe I'm saying this right now. I cannot believe these words are going to leave my mouth. I think Austin Cindric's going to be good today. Ugh, feels weird to even say at a track with high tire wear because it is just not his thing. I don't have anything on or against him. I don't trust him as far as I could throw him. But, I mean, you can't hide behind those lap times. They were pretty good. Justin Haley, I don't know. Me. Can't really bet on him. Harrison Burton. Well, Harrison Burton was better than Todd Gilliland. I'll say that. But, I don't know. Ryan Preece. These SHR guys are just not the same. How Penske has those special shocks. Yeah. I can't. No. So, yeah, Brian asked, can you trust Cindric for an entire race? No, I can't. But he's fast. I don't know. I do with that what you do with that what you want, what you will. You know what I mean? 2 beer pull. One down. All right, gotta power through this one. I put this one on draft. I was ready, so I can drink it quicker. Harrison we're at Ryan Preece. I don't know. He's fade stuff. I don't even know that you can bet on him. Let's see on the screen. Haley's a favorite over him. There's no Preece-Cindric matchup. No one posted it because they're too soft to even post matchups that they're supposed to do. They're too soft to do their job. Eric Almirola. Oh, hey, there's McCarley. Almirola, I think, I think you take Stenhouse over him. I would do that. I might do that now. McCarley, Stenhouse over Almirola. Do that. Max. I think it's minus 135. Todd Gilliland, not good. Just not good. I don't know what you want me to say. Like, he's clearly the worst. Ty Dillon, this is a track where he's fine. Okay, we're locked in. This is a track where I think Ty Dillon is decent. But, I mean, he's Ty Dillon. I don't expect much. I don't even know. Let's see. I don't even think you can bet on him. No, I don't see any stuff there. Ryan Newman. I can't wait for Jeff Bird to talk about Ryan Newman. Someone needs to hold him accountable in the booth, please. I don't think they moved that much. Like, it's still, I got my screen up. It hasn't moved. No, McCarley already got us in, so we're good. And then Joey Logano. Here's the thing. If Logano had not hit the wall and gone to a backup, I would say he's maybe a top 10 car. But, I mean, these backups, are they the same? I just think you have to put so much work into the backups because the teams don't have specific cars, right? So Penske comes with 2 backups. That could be used for Cindric, Blaney, or Logano. So they're basically just shell cars, and they have to change the engine And they have to make so many adjustments. I don't know. It wouldn't shock me if he's still good. There might be some value on him in matchups. Let's see. Where is he? I don't know. Like, is he matched up against like Chase Elliott? That seems like that would be a matchup. Am I wrong? Chase Elliott. No, Keselowski. No, do not touch that one. Yeah, Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott. He's a dog to Chase Elliott. Well, his primary car is better. Yeah. That's my point, Brian. Yep, I totally agree. Elliott was great last week at Vegas, hits the wall, goes to a backup car, and was not as good. I just think that you have so much going against you when that happens. You have your crew is up till midnight making sure you get all the changes. You can't trust it. 50-1 at FanDuel. I mean, if you're able to live bet, I think Jason, he ain't winning this race. Come on. He's not winning. I mean, you had my attention for a second. Like, 50-1 on Logano. He's not winning. He ain't winning. There used to be a segment. Who ain't winning? Who ain't winning today? I don't know. There's lots of people that ain't winning. Anyone not named Larson ain't winning. Sorry, Jason. I know you got a Reddick party over there and wherever the hell you are. You're in New York, right? All right. Any questions? Any thoughts? Got to finish my beer. 2-beer pull. I'm drunk already. I just think Larson mops again. I don't think Jason, do you really think, let's see, thoughts on Dillon over John Hunter Nemechek? Jacob, you live in a world that doesn't exist. Where in the hell is that matchup? I don't know. Big Ross, do you see, you're good at finding stuff. Do you see that Dillon over John Hunter? Oh, he is. It's -120. McCarley, you need to make another bet. Austin Dillon over John Hunter Nemechek. All I have is for the feels. Okay, yeah, play that, Jacob. That's going to get sent out anyway. All I have is my for the feels Blaney outright. Is there anyone worth adding? Reddick? Wait, you just have Brian. You didn't bet him at 6-1, did you? Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it right now. I didn't have access to I didn't have access to screen matchups until right before I came on. So I can tell you right now I bet it. It's already been bet. Ooh, good question, Kyle. McCarley, it is Austin Dillon over John Hunter Nemechek. Hendrick +150 to win instead of Chevy. No, because you add Chastain. I think you have to have that. I just think Chastain's worth that 35 cents. Almost. Oh, KFB. I don't know. Okay, thoughts on Kyle Busch. I saw Big Ross ask, and Dave is now asking. He was in the A group, and he had way more fall off than, say, Chris Buescher. Way more. I mean, 0.3 a lap difference than Ryan Blaney. in Group A also. I don't know. I think I don't like Kyle today. Here's it's based on practice. Based on practice, Kyle Busch is not going to be great. What I know about this track where it literally goes back into the driver's hands, I think he could be good. How's that? Sometimes it's hard. I don't think Kyle Busch is going to be that good. If I had to pick good or bad, I would say more bad than good. Does that help? I mean, I think Larson wins. I think the only person that will be able to compete with him would be Tyler Reddick. I think the next best car will be Ryan Blaney or Brad Keselowski, and then Ross Chastain would be the next one. And here's the thing, but then Truex is going to be in there somewhere. He has to be. Anything else? One last collective clink. Taking a pull. Okay, aside from the Jason has a question. Poor Jason and I have been going at it online all day today. He is heavily invested in this race, and I'm not. From an outright perspective. Question: aside from the 5 and 45, are any drivers you think may surprise us in the high line and run as effectively as those two? I will say, I can't believe I'm about to say this. The next best person at running the high line might be Ricky Stenhouse. What do we think about that? You guys agree with that? Maybe Truex? Chastain? Yeah. That's just an art form, man. It's just Chastain, maybe. Austin Dillon's pretty damn good. What's Stenhouse top 5? I'm kind of curious. What if Stenhouse is a rocket? 90-1. Top Chevy. Could you imagine? He'd have to be like, do you think that Kyle Larson will hear these words today? Clear behind him. I don't think he's hearing that at all. JJ Yaley, Mark in Mississippi. Are you drunk already? Oh, man. JJ Yaley. It's funny. I don't think Larson is going to hear clear behind him at all. Not today. Gosh, we need to get this race back. This needs to be the championship race. I mean, it's a must-attend event. It's just, if you have not been to Homestead, it is. Stenhouse is 35-1 top 5. Wow. Geez, I have a lot of messages. It's an incredible place to go watch a race. And when it's the championship, it's a must-attend event. Phoenix is not. I live in Phoenix. I would rather fly to Miami and go to the race there than drive an hour. Yeah. Chastain was my thought, but 5 and 45 are able to use a whole track like nobody else. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and Larson broke our heart, Chris. He did. It was I mean, he's been the best car there since 2015. I said that earlier today, with the exception of 2021, which is crazy because he went on to win 10 races. Like, what world were we living in? It's almost like, the world's a simulation when Larson goes out and dominates at Sonoma and doesn't win at Homestead. How did that even happen? That was in 2021. It's like, what? All right. We got 2 beers. I'm buzzing. It's my favorite race. And I don't think I have anything else to. I got a little bit of a Bloody Mary left. So cheers, everybody. Good luck. Good to be back at Homestead, man. Just enjoy the racing day. Cheers.